It's so wide open out here that I'm getting a good reading on virtually all the satellites. This is Will Buchanan reporting for the Walk for Liberty. It's August 1st, 2008, day 98. I intend to walk 22 miles for liberty today. The wind feels warm to me right now, which I guess indicates that all my sweat is drying off almost instantaneously. Here's the current temperature from Brooke's phone, 100 degrees, and I like how it describes it as awfully hot. I've noticed lots of little fine spider webs along here. A ghost tree. There's a really nice gentleman I talked to who has a company called Big Flow Drilling. He had been sitting in his truck on the side of the road when I walked by, and he actually guessed that I was walking across the country. So I started chatting with him for a few minutes, and he gave me a $5 tip. I'm always impressed by the kindness and generosity of most people. So then I chatted with him about his drilling business for a few minutes. He told me that he can find water by drilling relatively shallow 200-foot wells that produce flow rates of 20 or even 100 gallons a minute, whereas most other local drillers could only produce flow rates of 2 or 3 gallons a minute. He told me that he's so successful at his work that his business used to be called 50/50 Drilling, by which he meant that if the first hole he drilled was unsuccessful, then he would drill another one for free. Apparently that practice wasn't very popular with the other local drillers though. So he ended up stopping that practice and changed the name of his company to Big Flow Drilling. It wasn't very clear to me though whether he stopped that practice voluntarily, although I'm not sure why he would do that, or whether the other drillers got together and used the guns of the government to force him to stop the practice. He also said he had a keen ability to find oil, although for some reason he said no one believed him and hadn't yet taken him up on the offer. After talking with him, I did some quick research online about mineral rights since I had known virtually nothing about them previously. I was particularly curious since somebody had told me before that certain state governments claim to own all the mineral rights within the borders that they claim to have jurisdiction over. I didn't find any evidence online to support that claim. However, I did find something equally disturbing. I discovered that certain state governments, including the state of Montana government, do claim that they own all of the water within their supposed borders, including atmospheric, surface, and groundwater, and that they're just giving the rights to the property owner to use that water. However, if I own some land, shouldn't I own everything on, above, and under that land as well, including the water? I guess that's yet another example that, at least from the government's point of view, that I don't really own my land, but rather lease it from the government. Why else would I have to pay property taxes on my own land? When property taxes are really nothing more than a glorified form of rent payment. Just think about that for a while if you believe you really own your land. I reached my goal today and walked 22 miles. Here are my GPS coordinates. This is Will Buchanan for blog.walkforliberty.com, signing off. Intriguing. This person has a newspaper box, but no mailbox. Perhaps like Kramer, they've decided to opt out of the mail system, and kudos to them.